You too. You too. No, it's been a while since y'all have seen me. It's been a good reason. You too been. But that ain't been the reason why I ain't been with y'all. Now, I'm actually on my way to go fight at the Chief Justice Court in Las Vegas. I'm gonna try my hardest to keep y'all streaming with me through this process by hiding my phone from the belly, just in case this dude do anything discriminative. I have it visually documented, you know. But I'm going to court because my landlord and me don't get along. So he's trying to wrongfully evict me. And I'm trying to legally stop him from doing what's illegal against a judge that I have a history with. Yeah, this dude did discriminate on me 3 times already and evicted me 2 other times. Told me to shut up before. So, going in the lion's den, you should say. But the law is on my side. That's for sure. My hearing is at 2:30. Like I say, I'm gonna try to keep this on the whole time. So y'all might not be able to see me, but y'all gonna definitely hear me. Yeah, I haven't been before this judge since 2018. I done filed a judicial complaint against him. Justice Court, I filed a motion to recuse the judge. We have a bad history, to say the least. So I'm gonna go in there like I don't even know who he is and pray that he act like he don't know who I am. You know, you don't want to play with the roof over your head, especially when you're doing what you got to do to maintain that roof. Get my thoughts together. Mom's over here waiting. I ain't paying for no parking. They already get enough out of me with these Las Vegas taxes. I'm not really nervous though. I've got the law recited. I got evidence. So it should go my way. Whoa. Praying for a positive outcome. When you're dealing with the law, they have the power to strip you of your life, liberty, freedom. Now, I'm not finna do anything that would cause him to find me in contempt. This would be the only way he could take my freedom under these circumstances. In this jurisdiction. Now, worst thing to happen is he orders a summary eviction and demands that I vacate the premises. That's worst case. And I'm prepared for that as well. There is an appeal system that I'm already pretty knowledgeable on how to use. So that's the worst case scenario. I ain't trying to move. I'm comfortable where I'm at. And if he want me to move, he got to pay for me to move. And that's up to the next court, because I already filed a small claim suit on him. But the hearing for today, he's filed a 30-day no-cause eviction. So he's saying he has no reason for me wanting to vacate the premises. So it's up to me to prove to the court that this dude is harassing me, discriminating against me, and hating and breaking the law. Now, if I could fulfill those facts with supporting evidence that I do have, this should be dismissed. He shouldn't have even filed a 30-day no cause based on there is a cause for our current situation. He should have filed a lease correction performance, giving us the time to correct the lease violation that he alleges exists, which is a cause. And he's trying to state that there is no cause. So this should be an easy win for the kid. God willing, because everything happens for his great purpose. But I always get nervous when I go up on these people. This nice little walk, 7 minutes, so it should be like almost 2:10. Timing is good. Gotta just be patient with the kid, even though ain't nobody watching it. But yeah, this video really is more so for protection. Big you, because you gotta protect yourself. And this dude has been known to discriminate against me. There's a documented history of impartiality between me and this court. So for me to go in here without protecting myself, I'd be a fool. As I walk by the county jail, the Las Vegas Detention Center. Going inside where there's more sun. So yeah, the key principle this dude has to prove is that there is no cause. I just want the property back from this guy. I want him to vacate the premises for no reason. Even though I got letters saying that there's reason, there's cause, there's grounds, motive, intent for why he's doing what he's doing. Shout out to that one person that's in the chat. This is my second live on this. I don't know how to check nothing, but I appreciate your time in this monumental point of my life. Dude, that's a whole nother drama I gotta deal with. I ain't ready for no eviction, cause this dude is hating on me. And I'm getting near to the courthouse. Like I say, I'm gonna try to film the whole hearing. So if he do anything discriminatory, I got it documented video for the tube. But you know, there's supposed to be no recording in the court, so I'm gonna have to be slick. Hopefully he break it down though and be like, man, I was just tripping. I ain't ready for you in this here court setting. You hear the inmates on the roof over there at the county jail. Free you brothers. Not a place to be. I gotta get through this here metal detector. Got mom stashed around the corner with evidence. How you supposed to see who in the chat? None of that. Sneak out into this court building though. I lost wherever he was. Still appreciate it. What time is it, mama? Okay.
Take me carry anything?
You can carry that bag right there. Take this belt off. Looking for the video.
You got a shoe string or something?
No, I do, mama.
See what I got on mine.
Inglewood. You gonna see the landlord people in us again?
No.
Okay, let's get over there.
You on the cakewalk?
Yeah. Las Vegas Justice Center. I'm trying to keep it low. The key that I got y'all with. First part, I got to get y'all past the metal detector. Oh, handicap. Handicap. Got past this point, y'all. Shut the phone on silent. Courthouse with the Y.A Baby. I got it, man. Court right here. Court right there. The Honorable Judge David Brown. Appreciate you checking in. I'm on a court mission, fighting an eviction. Just based on the landlord don't like it. Try to sneak you in with me. Me and this judge got beef. Gonna be my 5th time in front of him. And he's an addiction court judge. Sit right here, man. Got my mama with me. You go in and check in. You go check in. Should say on this damn thing. 1B or 1D. Put that thing right down. Our name ain't on here. So it's 1C. Nah, we know that's not him. It's right here, mama. Make sure your phone turned off. On here, let them know we here. I see it right. It's a different judge in here. This is gonna be the tricky part. Sneaking in here. Volume down. Hat off. Prepare to enter the courtroom. Hide y'all.
Didn't say anything, and then suddenly I want to pull him out. I have no problem giving the full amount. All she had to do was tell me, but she didn't say a word as she has told me she's a loner and has a hard time communicating with people. It's not about money. It's just that she changed her mind and didn't tell me.
Other issues, if the lease says that it's a month to month, you know, if she gives you an accommodation, that's great, but I think she probably
Your Honor?
that it goes back to, excuse me, she says week to week, that doesn't necessarily waive the provision, but
Your Honor, she changed her information in Zelle, so I had no way to pay her. My attorney and myself sent her an email and on paper that she's blocked me from paying the rent. So she's gotten notice by my attorney and myself several times.
Well, to go out and get a money order for $300, pay it, and you would have been resolved. You don't even have to spend any time participating in a hearing like this.
If she would have just said she wanted it the other way, I would have just paid the whole thing.
Well, why didn't you just pay the 300 for the pair quit?
Because I was going-
It's the same thing as saying, I want the whole thing.
Because I was going per the lease, and I gave her the notice that I'm trying to pay you, and you're not allowing me to pay you. And I got the documentation, legal documentation, and I thought, okay, everything's going through the courts now.
Okay, so do you have the rent to pay?
Yes, that's never been an issue.
Okay, you want the rent?
No,
Okay,
I
well,
want her out.
well, then,
Right now, all she's doing is
okay, but
calling
ma'am, this is on for a pair quit, okay? Did you terminate her ability to pay you via Zelle?
Yes,
Okay, case dismissed, it's a pair quit notice. If she's ready to pay you,
I don't want her.
I get it, then there's other ways maybe to end the tenancy. But you don't issue a pair quit notice, demand payment. Just listen to me. I know, you guys should get apart from each other, it's ridiculous, okay? Ms. Brady, you can't, don't complain about the things she's doing when you're paying $400 a month, okay? Nobody gets $400 a month. So you guys have fought your problems, enjoy, okay? I'll be here if you find a legal means to evict her, okay? Otherwise, she's got a 60-day notice, try to be nice to each other, okay?
Will she allow me to pay?
Years ago, and she is doing everything that she can to
All right, listen to me. So I'm dismissing this action because she's refusing it, but she might serve you with a new pair quit. You'll have to pay for the time you're there. If you're issuing pair quits, okay, then you gotta take the money. That's your demand. Pay me or get out. You can't just say, get out. If she's got the money, you gotta take it. Okay, and you just openly acknowledge to me, I'm not taking the money, so I can't, she's ready to perform according to the pair quit, and you're not letting her. So I have to
so
dismiss
she
it.
gives me the cash.
She should give you, in whatever form, you know, if you want it in certified funds, cash, or a cashier's check, that's fine, you know, over a personal check, but she was paying via Zelle. She says she's got the money, so you ought to at least get the money, right?
Why not stuff she's doing in my house, my home?
You know, I'm not here to be a landlord-tenant coach, okay, or a mediator. So, that's my decision, good luck. Might be a rough few more weeks, hold on. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ovation Property Management versus Lorinda Maldi, 2040-006841.
Thank you, Lee, for ovation.
Thank you,
Person on behalf of the tenant.
and thank you. I have a note, landlord to dismiss.
Yes.
Okay.
She went to rental assistance for a few land, got it approved, the landlord accepted it.
Oh, wow, that's
It's
great.
approved through the bank, so.
That's good because she got some help, she got a little more participation on this end.
Yeah.
And anyway, okay.
Thank you.
This time we receive payments, termination is denied. Senator Richard Bryan, Senior Apartments versus Cindy Andrews, 2040-007400.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, Paul Shaner, on behalf of Ms. Andrews.
Make me happy, folks.
We have a resolution.
I'm gonna be happy.
We've talked about this at length. Ms. Davis has agreed to give Ms. Andrews until May 3rd to vacate. We understand the process.
All right, and is this to be set for status check?
Can we set it for the 3rd, and I guess, if
I
we
don't
don't
set it for the fourth.
if we don't appear, I guess, in the courthouse, yeah.
She's supposed to be out on the third.
Yes.
So you say that's Friday, I'll set it for the following judicial day, May sixth. And then if she's out, nobody shows up. And I'm maybe it's super easy. All right.
Actually, 1:30.
Cool, 1:30. Hopefully I won't see you guys. Thank you, Judge. David Snoddy versus Alexandra Bruno. 008-496. Your name, please?
David,
Thank you. This is before court number 70, Minnesota, amount of $1,600 a month. Did she get out? You let her move in without anything, huh? And I haven't got a penny. So she didn't pay,
not a deposit, not a single
you
dollar.
didn't get the 2-month rent, you didn't get the 2 months deposit, you didn't get the 7 days of February or March. Okay. So, all right, tenant filed an affidavit, said, she was fired, resignation, what do you want me to do? So she has
I'm sure that they go through some, documents to prove that she's actually saying that she worked for IRS money, and she's showing me a picture of
All right, so, there was no deposit made, there was no, rent for the 7 days, the last days of February or March, and now in April, I'll have some negation. The view at University Center is Jackman Sessoms, 24E007817.
That may drive about the landlord.
So the order will go to the constable tomorrow.
Right, so right, so I'm going there tomorrow after that.
You could pay him today and avoid another trip downtown.
Hey,
Just to clarify, what was the name?
Jackman Sessoms,
Okay, so I'll cut this one short for you, Your Honor, transferring the keys from this.
having surrendered some eviction will be denied. Winter Haven Senior Apartments versus Regina Gas, 24E007581.
Absolutely, Your Honor, Christian Bell, about the landlord.
Good evening, Your Honor. This is now student attorney representing the supervision of Jordan Savage and work with the client.
All right, this is for the court, on matter 78 notice to pay rent or quit, it appears that rent of $13.81 a month is past due beginning March, and now we're in April. You talked about some moving expenses, but are we in agreement with that? No March payment?
Yes, Your Honor. However, we filed a notice with the court this morning. Our client has filed a bankruptcy. to ensure that our-
Did you catch it? All right, were you aware of that?
No, Your Honor, this is not information.
Always great to learn in court. Has this been filed? We got that, okay. So. So the court recognizes bankruptcy. Is this your first bankruptcy in the last year?
Yes.
All right, so, that means the automatic stays and that the court will take no action. University Center versus Aurelis. 24E007722.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, Christian Bell, on behalf of the landlord.
Yeah, figure out the policy on it, here. And it's $12.95 a month, and so I need an explanation.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
Your Honor, I understand the confusion. I thought the same when I was going through everything. My understanding is that delinquent on the complaint is unpaid utilities and fees. However, the current outstanding balance is that of this month currently, If you'd like to know, the current outstanding balance now is $2,249.89, going back to the beginning of March.
So when was March's payment made? You say February?
It was paid February 17th, Your Honor.
Is the 311 for 1 month?
Your Honor, it's all you guys that you got the ledger, there's a lot here that's going on that might be. If you'd like the stylus, Your Honor, to make it easier for you.
So. Zero balance, February, $50 payroll, car, 25, service fee, water, goes up to 1538, and you paid 1538 on 2/1. So you were at zero balance then, and then 2/17, you paid 1545 at this kind of ballparking. So
I was adding a little extra, so this way I wouldn't have any issues, and that was for the March rent.
So, yeah, that's what they do. 250 over your rent, so then rent hits 250 balance. And these subtract. So he was up by 250, and then he ended up upside down 247.20. So all of his non-rent obligations were just shy of 500.
Was that a rhetorical question, Your Honor? I apologize.
May I have a chance to speak here?
Yeah, just a minute. Utilities submitted, water, $4. Utilities twice submitted. 1/1/131, December 4th to December 28th.
What's not included in there, Your Honor, is the utilities for the month of March. Tenants have provided their
I
utilities.
did that. I have a hard time with somebody paying their full rent, and then you guys doing the 7-day here. You chose to, well, say you chose.
Well,
you paid it early. So was there a reason why you didn't pay the additional sums? I mean, I wouldn't hold him responsible for, the March late fee, because he paid $12.95.
That's where this all
You're
started.
hitting him with the $64.75, and he's got half of his utilities. He's already paid $250 towards, all this stuff.
Well, notwithstanding that fact, Your Honor.
There is,
also-
all the other ones you
I'm giving him a hard time, so I'm here.
Appreciate that, thank you, Your Honor. I've been informed by my client that tenants refusing to pay utilities and is continuing to do so going into the month of April here for the March utilities. And so I understand what it looks like on its face. Truly, I was quite confused when I was looking through this morning. However, the the situation is as shown to you today, with a lot more behind of what's going on, including some harassing emails that were going on this morning about this calculation is incorrect. The numbers are all there, Your Honor, however minuscule they may be, there's constant tension on the paying of the full delinquent amounts, and alas, here we are.
So were you willing to pay $247.20?
We never had an issue paying our electric bill, Your Honor. What we had
I
an
didn't
issue was,
ask you that.
yes, we'll pay that.
There's a host of things. If you take a look at this lease, the utility addendum, it's like 3 pages long, okay? It has a key on the last page to interpret it, how each thing is going to be calculated. Some are flat fees, some are not.
And this is our first electric bill. We were there in February 1st. My wife and I went to the office and we went to the secretary. Nadia, please tell us, when are we gonna get our electric bill? She goes, as soon as we get it, we will give it to you. So I paid my rent for March on February 17th. On March 2nd, I went to the office. Randy French tells, she's the manager, she says, Paul, you overpaid on your rent bill $15. We're gonna add it towards the next month. On March 6th, I got the eviction notice for my electric bill, which you didn't even let us know in advance. It's like, this is what we've been asking for, and this is what you do. You give us 2 eviction notices. And I tried to be cordial and civil with her, and I sent her an email, and she replies and says, I told you so, and these penalties are staying. So without merit, without disregarding my rights as a tenant, she just went from March 2nd to like, you have extra money, to March 6th, here is an eviction notice. So to try and take advantage of this. And that's why we here today, we don't mind paying anything, Your Honor. We will pay in full. The problem is we will not be paying any penalties that incurred because of our unprofessionalism and not letting us know. That's all it is. It's a courtesy email. We went to you in advance and we sat there for 15 minutes and my wife spoke in Spanish and I interpreted in English to them. And then you go from that, from disregarding my tenant's rights to, I look at this as like an extortion attempt.
Well, so when you got the pay quit notice,
I'm sorry?
when you got the 7-day pay quit notice, you got that on or about March 5th,
Yes.
okay? Did you go in at that time?
Yeah, I sent her an email.
And what did you say?
And here's my email. There's one other email. Okay, it says, where is it? It says, on March 9th, I wrote, I will not be paying penalties because of your unprofessional behavior.
When you say penalties, what do you mean? The late charge?
Yeah, the late charge was already, on both eviction notices, there's late charges on there, and it's like,
When you say both
so my first
eviction
electric bill
notices,
would come with the late charge.
Have you issued another eviction notice?
I got one in the mail, and I got one on my.
The same notice, they have to do it both ways, okay? So it's just one notice, you've only gotten one, okay?
And she replied telling me that the penalties are going to remain. And this is our first electric bill, and yet we are the ones who went to the office and let them know.
Harping on the electric bill, I mean, I just been looking at all these other charges, there's a bunch that you owe.
Yeah, but
So, but I feel like, and landlord won't like this, but I'm gonna sort of through my order. $247.20, that's what's due, for, that's the unpaid portion of non-rent fees, from, March, okay? They're not going to assess, I think they should not have included, because you paid the $12.90, because you paid $15.45, they shouldn't have included a full late charge. In fact, I don't think, because it's just on those additional any late charge should be included in the pay rate. Then the 7 eviction filing fee, so that's one of the numbers here. So eviction, the late fee, the 7-day care quit, and the, eviction filing fees total $334.75. Did you, was there any effort before the did you go in? Yeah, they heard to me in the conversation with my wife. So she said you're overpaid, but then she said.
Yeah, 1 second, I went to the office, goes, Paul, you overpaid, but we'll put that towards next month's limit. I have no problem, thank you very much for letting me know. And so the next thing I know was the eviction notice. It's like a stab in the heart, it's like
Did you ask her what?
Yes, and I told her, I go, Brandon, we don't have any problem paying our electric bill, we're willing to pay it today in full. So that email is not there right now, it was on March 6th. It was on March 6th, I said, I go, we're willing to pay today, but we refuse to pay any penalties because this is our first electric bill. We are the ones who've been asking for this, Your Honor. We've never had a problem with
Your Honor,
that.
I will rebut one thing that's important here,
And I would
that
share-
is that the utilities provided and are giving notice to the tenants through a third-party company or is reflected on the portal. And so this whole contention that tenant has been asking landlord and landlord is just not providing information is simply untrue.
Did you go into the portal and see what you owed?
When I paid February 17th, when I paid on February 17th for March rent, that was the last time that I had checked that portal, because the parts officer, I paid 1 month, my wife paid 1 month, and that's how we did it, so I did not know, I thought you would just give me courtesy, hey, your email, your electricity arrived, can you guys please take care of it? As a courtesy, as a professional, I didn't get any of that, I got something else.
Your Honor, clearly there's a lot.
And then there's something else that I'd like to share as well. This is my watch machine since day one.
Is that just out of balance?
Yeah, and this is also the same stuff we're talking about.
Sometimes my watch does that.
Excuse me? Daddy, make it quiet.
Well, I'm not
Carol,
there
my
yet,
shoes
just a
are-
minute, just a minute. Do you have $1,915.15?
No problem, we can pay that today, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm gonna order that.
Sorry, Your Honor, the number?
I'm gonna get strict through this up, $1,915.14. That is your total balance as of, at least on this ledger,
Today.
4/1, which is $2249.89, but it's minus the late fee, because I don't think we should have been charged that. And probably would have been resolved at the time. It's minus the $75 eviction notice and eviction file. Again, so late fee, when you pay, $12.95 plus an additional $250, halfway. Not the best communication here, but, you'll need to look, I mean, generally, do they just go on, do people?
If they put it on the portal today, it will be done today, Your Honor.
So I'm gonna order the landlord to take $1,915.14 payment in full for March and April. Okay, so I don't think there's anything more that's gonna get on April.
I believe in the ledger there was some like carport fees and charges, so it might not exactly be that figure, Your Honor, so that's why there's a caution for policy.
Rent, cable, carport, it's all in there already.
Okay,
I think
that's fair.
so, $1,915.14.
So the quicker they have it on the portal, the quicker we'll pay it. You go home, go there, we'll pay it.
If not, go out and get a cashier check and drop it off to you.
She didn't want that.
I know, but I'm telling you, if they don't make an adjustment on the portal, I'm gonna, I'll ask them to just bring in certified funds.
All advice accordingly, however, Your Honor, I just want to know the time frame here and the status of the order. Are we going forward with a objection to
No,
staying?
we're not gonna go forward with the addition. I'll, set for staff check on.
Hey, all later than close business tomorrow.
The date of the,
That's gonna be April the sixth. I'm sorry, April the fourth.
April 4th, on Thursday.
Yeah. And if it's taken, nobody can have it.
okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for your time, Your Honor.
Boulder Pines LP versus Candace Haywood, 24006426.
Mayor Susan Callahan on behalf of the landlord.
Welcome, Ms. Callahan. Welcome, ma'am, your name, please. To stay with this, the board report on landlord's 30-day notice to pay rent for quit. Say what it appears that rent is $1,212 a month and past due going back to January. Does that sound right?
Yes.
That's 4 months past due at this time. Were you still in the unit?
Yes.
Okay. No, we mentioned some financial hardships applied for chat. Do you know what the status of that is? Have been signed? Have they reached out to you yet, or you're just waiting?
I called this morning and, Monday I applied for loan one year sooner, and so I applied for the last one, so my statement is longer, but,
So in the portal, it says been signed.
and I spoke to someone,
And you what?
I spoke to someone this morning,
Oh, did the caseworker call you, or did you call in?
I thought they.
Okay, so if you haven't gotten an email from a caseworker yet saying, hey, I'm your caseworker and I need these documents or anything like that?
No, it's a portal, you sign
Right.
up,
Right.
log into, and
Yeah.
just screenshot it, and say,
Sure. I've
I'm.
seen thousands of them, or maybe more. Ms. Callahan, so she does admit that she's, default going back to January, that she's still in the unit. She has applied for CHAPS, and, it says she's been assigned a caseworker, though she's still waiting to be contacted by the caseworker. Is the landlord willing to see her application through, or are they interested in waiting?
Yeah, at this point, my client is not interested in waiting. The balance is $5,244.72 through April.
Right, ma'am, I don't have any legal means to stay this pending the rental assistance that law expired last June. School, so where a tenant is in default and the unit has been surrendered, I am obligated to find unlawful detainer, which I do at this time, and we'll order some eviction. We do have a weekend in between, so Monday would be the earliest it possibly may be.
And I can request an extension.
You certainly can, you can do that in writing, so a motion for additional time, if you wish to do that across the holiday. But 10 days is the maximum enforcement if it's granted. Ms. Hallahan, do you have any objection to her getting 10 days stay?
Can you ask her, does she have any children in the residence with her?
She does, I think,
No, a 6-year-old.
she does have children.
Your Honor, I think it would be appropriate for the court to find grounds to give her 10 days.
All right, so you don't have to file a motion. I'll grant the stay of 10 days. So today, I appreciate that, Ms. Callahan, or Hallahan, sorry. So today is the second. So actually, that goes out till the 12th. That happens to be a Friday, which they don't do lockups Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays, so you've got yourself. Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Rivera versus, Inoshka Del Carmen, 24E007620.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Kim Levitt here on behalf of the landlord who's also present in the courtroom. Sorry, is this Rivera, correct?
Pardon me?
Jesus Rivera?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Your name, please? Last name, what's your middle name? What's your last name?
That's,
Pardon?
that's,
How do you spell it?
B as in Victor, A as in Apple, B as in Beaver.
Okay. All right. This is before the court on landlord 7-day notice to pay rental fee. Here's that rent is $18.50 a month. The allegation from the landlord is that March and April's rent is not paid.
February, March, and April.
Not accurate.
I'm sorry. Well, it does say the default February 1
Yeah,
on the
but the
pay
notice
request.
itself.
The amount is only $18.50.
Correct.
So what's the due date?
The first.
So
Yeah, so
this
the,
commenced on February 1st, is that correct?
yes,
So was anything paid at the move-in?
no.
And did you pay anything moving
First and last, 3,700.
For the move-in, yes, I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about, after notice was given.
in? So first and last for, first month's rent, meaning February and a deposit.
No, so it's January and a deposit.
Did
February,
you move in January?
I did, January 2nd.
I'm trying to have some inaccurate information here.
Yes.
So, what is due according to the landlord?
So for February, March, and April's rent comes out to $5,735. That's with March and April's late fee of $19.50. Pursuant to,
So, on March 5th, did your haircut only included 1 month?
it did, but I didn't serve this notice.
Which is for the
constantly.
month of
February,
February.
yes.
And you're saying
It's for March.
you paid February.
Yes,
So,
sir.
she has, when was that paid? I mean, I show, she attached, did you see her item? Where she's saying, hey, reaching out to pay rent, to open a cash app, I can send it now, my only source of any income is just the web part. He says, hi, okay, cash app account. The next thing I see is a screenshot of his account, and then payment to Jesus Rivera Espinoza at $15.50. It says for rent, March. What day is that? I don't see a date.
It's March 4th when I sent it. It was a Monday.
Did he receive funds?
No, he didn't want to accept it. It was in pending status.
That's not true.
That is true. Very true.
Your Honor,
Where's Jesus?
he's here in the courtroom. However, I can shed some light on this with cash out.
Please.
Okay, so the landlord was unable to accept funds through cash out. Period. He told the tenant, I can't accept it. She had other ways to pay.
Why did he not accept it?
He said he
Because
had.
I've asked for,
you have to have valid credentials. You did not have the valid credentials in order to work with cash out.
okay.
The tenant could have canceled the cash app and brought cash, cashier's check, any other form of payment, but he did not.
So is that $18.50 sitting out there still?
No, everything's there.
No, just a minute, I've asked her this time, so you know. It's sitting with cash out.
Yes.
You have to pull it back.
No, it's
It's
in
4
pending.
weeks later, and you're just letting it sit there.
Yes, it's for the rent. My
Pull it
Oh, no,
back.
I'm sorry.
If
So
he's-
it
he's not
canceled itself.
taking it. Pardon me?
So I sent it to him after he sent me, I was like, okay, great, let me send him. So I did it on Monday. So it was on pending status for a while. And he informed me that he wasn't able to log in. I don't know, I said, I can either give you a cashier's check, or you can open up a cash app and I can send it to you, because that's how I'm getting paid. He doesn't want to accept, he wants cash. He doesn't want to allow me to pay him in no other way. It has to be
Other
cash.
than cash?
Yes.
Your Honor,
What? Okay, this case bothers me. I mean, Jesus, come on up. Where are you?
Please come on. According to Cash App, I read their policy. After 14 days of it pending, it immediately goes back to the person who's attempting to send the money. So she has the money.
Well, if she doesn't, she can pull it back, but.
That's correct. She can pull it back.
So I'm just, I mean, we haven't even gotten to the crappy stuff yet, right? Let's go by three professionals, unit needs repairs, ready to move in, unit could fire, air ducts and clogged, some of the conditions landed my family in ER with respiratory problems. I probably won't go anywhere with some of that, but then she seems to submit some work receipt for $1,130.
Right.
And this is work you requisition?
I told him when I moved in
Who did this work?
Who did it work, gentleman from Able One.
Where is that information?
He just gave me an
Who's
invoice.
Able One?
Able One is his company's name. His name is Reyes.
Your Honor.
He gave me permission.
So was there some discussion about having her do some work?
Yes, there was. The landlord said, send me the invoice and, you know, we'll get this taken care of. So I'm happy that you brought up the invoice. Because this Able One company, it doesn't exist. Because I attempted to call the phone number.
Don't
because I
sound
had
like
some-
that, man. She's trying to assess, okay? Then we come back and hear you.
I have some questions about this invoice. Because as you can see, the numbers that are on here are actually not really high. For example, 2 new toilet seats come out to $110.
I thought the toilet seats were a little pricey.
Right. So, and then here where
I
it
think
says
Kyle's some profit and it's overhead, you know.
coffee to kill mold for $260. So, long story short, I tried to call this person and get an exact estimate, like exactly what he did. The number doesn't exist. It doesn't work. And Able One, no clue who that is, what that's about. So the
So
total.
if I dial up 781-6407, am I gonna get anybody?
No.
It's 972-265. I don't know what, maybe that's his work phone. I'm not sure, sir. No. But I have pictures of everything. I'm not trying to.
I know, that's what makes this deal messy, right? Okay?
There's a lot of back and forth between him and I.
So you haven't paid March. It's sitting, I know you made the arrangement, but March is sitting there.
Yes, sir.
Any evidence that you paid February?
No, this is the invoice he gave me.
So you're saying maybe the work you did constitutes February's rent?
That's what we agreed, yes. And I have that.
Discussion about that?
Yes.
Okay,
It's in
just,
his text.
look, I asked him, but
I'm sorry, yes, sir.
there was some discussion to have, maybe have her do some stuff, or maybe somebody arranged to do it?
I called her on February 5th, and I was going to get it together. And she told me about she thought it was sick. Long story about day sick. So yeah. So she told me she's gonna pay on 26th of February or February, and I called her no money. So she said no, because they charged me $1,100. She said, hey, you didn't ask me but they're gonna charge that, or that. And I said, it's too expensive, it's more than half the rent. And you never asked me about the money. And she said, no, that's why they charge me, so that's what I will get.
So, just a minute, you say, I think there's more texting?
Yes.
That you haven't given me?
I'm looking for it right now. I printed it out, but it's here.
It's the chance screen, right?
I'm just, I
You know why they
didn't.
didn't print the whole thing off? Some people do a cut and paste job, because there's stuff in there that doesn't. But, so did you set up a cash app, right?
I did.
Okay, and you couldn't,
I couldn't get the money, I
Did
asked
you-
her back.
did you convey that to her, that account? I'm trying to get the money.
Yes, that's what I did.
He did that same day.
Okay, so, you're ready with March and April, Fran? So February, in terms of determining, we both admits there was some discussion about her doing some work, just a horrible idea for both of you, okay? It invites you into a formal eviction proceeding, which I could, you know, I'm not going to just let it try to figure out what to do for February, beyond my scope.
There was an agreement that she would make some, altercations to the property, or fix the property of alternate things that she needed done, under the assumption that the landlord would approve, because
Right, so the problem with that statement, there were some things and under the assumption.
Right,
So
but
that,
these-
it's just, it's, you know, that just needs to be, I'm doing this. Before you do anything, you should get his approval. Terrible idea, right? You know,
I sent him pictures.
and I don't know that these, you know, we have to have able one in here and they can justify these prices. So, I think there's gonna be a document over February, but, you know, she needs to pay March and April going forward.
I have it, sir. My other concern is he's the owner, because I talked to the HOA lady. She told me that there was, basically welcomed me in. Hi, nice to meet you, we're so happy. There was an Asian, family that lived there. I'm like, okay. And I just did the same, I was like, okay, thank you. And then he told me that I can't get the power in my name for, I don't know why. And as well as he can only accept cash. So I looked up the property and it's someone else's name. And so my concern is my money going to go to the property? Or am I gonna be put out? Is this made up? I'm not sure. The lease is, I have it here with me, it's not, I moved in on the second, it's just all confusing. And so I don't know if this is real or fake, if he's the owner, if he's subleasing, I don't know. I just wanna make sure that my money is going to a loophole for my family and I said, and not be put out in the streets.
Diego Chan, Salvador, Nancy Carrillo, Salvador. Who
Well,
are,
that's my wife and my friend, we are buying that property.
who's your wife?
Nancy Curry.
Nancy?
Yes.
I was looking for, the lease says Jesus.
Why would you put it in your name? You're not doing,
Because my wife, I mean,
she owns the property, she's the land.
Well, she's acting on the, or he's
Is
acting on
she
behalf.
here? How do I know they're,
She's here, she's here.
where is she? Come on out, please. Who's Diego Chan?
he's my friend. But he's, right now he's on,
And there's others?
no,
Is Diego Chan at all?
yes,
Oh, Jesus Rivera Espinosa. That's not, is that you? So he's on, he's on.
He's on there, okay, great.
Yeah,
That's all.
the three of you own it as joint tenants. Yeah, so, you can pay them. What do you wanna do? I'm not gonna wait in, I'm not gonna try to find out
That's fine.
their agreement, but you have to pay March and April.
In regards to March's rent that we're kind of waiting, the $1,130, that's not the $1,850, that's still a $720 balance.
Well, that's what I'm calling February, then, you guys, right? I think that's what you just call February.
Yes, sir.
Well, there's still $720 around account.
Well, I guess that's,
February's rent.
that makes sense.
So can we add on March, April, and the rest of February?
So like, I need more receipts, I just don't have them on hand. So if you can find an email, and I'll come up to court. That was one thing that I didn't have in my,
What's your total?
huh?
What's
So
your
it
total?
completes the rent. It was over, because there
Can't
was.
go over because when you do your repairs, the statute says you don't get more than 1 month's notice.
Oh, no, I know that, but I can't pay the guy to do things that, it's not my property. I don't even shower because it floods, like, there's a lot of things in that unit that, and I'm just like, okay, it's 12 months, I'm out of here, like, let me just pay.
No,
It's not her property. I'm glad that she brought that up. It's the landlord's property and she's making these changes with this astronomical change of $1,130.
So I'm not gonna wade into the 1 month, which I'm gonna call February, March and April, or doing it full, just pay them.
You got it.
I'm gonna take no action here under NRS 40.25, paragraph 6. I can't tell what to really do, but I do believe March and April are indisputably due and owing, and if you don't pay that, next couple days, I'm sure you'll get another pay for March and April, and then we can sue each other over everything else.
So your Honor, just for the record, the total that she's going to pay the landlord is $4,070.
Well, 1850 is the,
That's correct. I'm adding a late fee as well.
well, for some reason, I can't, if she loses in the end, on some of this other stuff, I might call it late, but I can't wade into it. So if she's legitimately contesting, hey, I got these things, then, it will be a toss-up, whether the late fee would be unenforceable. It appears there are issues, so all of this could go, but if you want to clear the check, I just go 1850, 1850.
Okay. And when does she have to pay that by?
Well, I'm dismissing this. When is the lease, when's it due? I mean, it's due now, March.
It's due on the first.
It's due, when's your late fee?
There's no grace period. It's due on the
So,
first period.
third for schedule then, right? So, you should, pay the, 3,700 tomorrow, I suppose, or you'll get a late fee.
Can I do a cashless check?
That's legitimate funds. She can cash it, or you can cash it. But who should it be made out to? I mean, who do you want the payment made out to?
Jesus.
Yes.
All right, there you go.
What about the power bill?
Go what?
The power bill, can I get it? Or, can I put it in my name?
It's supposed to be in your name?
Yes.
Still my name, but she owed me like 3 months of the house.
No.
I don't know, I'm not gonna address that. Otherwise, I just take no action as to everything, right? Which is what it's on. All right, thank you. Yeah, still hearing you all. Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority versus Janae Brown, 24000617. Welcome. Your name, please?
Janae Brown.
Welcome, Ms. Brown. You have a marvelous this is before the court on landlord's 30-day notice for the lease condition. You're not here. Is this matter resolved?
No. I don't know.
Is Jasmine still there?
No, she's never been there.
Okay, so she's got, what about maybe a male unit as well?
Raheem Robinson, my kid's father, he's never been there either. I told him they could get mail there because I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's just a bad idea when you're subsidized housing, that it's a red flag for them, and I don't fault them for chasing it, maybe some assumptions. They start seeing somebody around, they see the mail, and they just draw some conclusions, and then you're left to try to show that they're not, but they're not here to prosecute, so somebody should do that.
Thank you.
Welcome. Heritage Square LLC versus Monique Sorrell.
Heritage Square, I should have a client on the line.
Frank Lewis.
Do I have anyone here from Heritage Square? Is that Matthew, Cunningham? Yes. Matthew, are you online? Okay, we don't see him online. I believe, do you wish to proceed at this time, or you want to try to make a call? This is a no pause.
Can I make a call, Howard? Do you have him on the calendar to throw it?
Yeah, I have another case. I'm going to let her do it.
Thank you, guys.
Patrick, you, as much as possible.
We are, sir, Erica McDowell and
I want to get them out. Will you guys? Yeah. I'm gonna take Jose A. Villanueva, one for senior, and Erica McDowell, Villanueva. Okay. Your name now? Your name? Well, do you want to come around or? ¿Escucha? Your name, please. ¿Tu nombre, por favor? Okay, before the court on we vacated the property on February 25th. So you have moved out. And have we worked there all? I'm gonna ask them some questions. Who was living? That's their residence, all of them? And then, was there anybody else with you? So, you're saying, did those tenants come with you? So you left February 25th, did you get all your property out, or did you still have?
we still have some stuff in the collection.
All right. Okay. So, they say they moved out on February 25th, and I don't care about it, that they moved out. In other words, do they still live there and sleep there?
She says no. They have a whole house in the
Right now?
They have the 2 rooms with key.
With the key or kids?
They have their own key.
You're saying key, not kid, right?
Key, not kids.
So, okay, so they haven't been sleeping there, correct?
Ya no están durmiendo ellos, están durmiendo. They left on February 13th.
But they still have stuff there.
Pero tienen cosas ahí todavía, ¿verdad? They have stuff there.
Okay. So,
Everywhere.
do you just want them to get their stuff out?
¿Usted quiere que saquen sus cosas? Eso y quiere.
Are you gonna get your stuff?
The reason why we didn't
really take all the rest of the stuff out because the power's out, when we thought we canceled the power. And then to get our last bill for the power, right? He didn't put the power back on, so there was no power, so we could get the stuff out, and he stole the drill that had to do the stuff out. So that's why I would move the stuff out.
No, you don't need power to do everything out. Right? Open the door. What do you mean power?
Because the room is dark, it's not even melting as it's dark, the room is dark.
It's not enough. I meant to get,
It's dark, it's dark.
look, during the day, in a house, on OG, there's enough windows, that enough light to get stuff out. So, but look, they're out, so I'm gonna deny the summer eviction. Just listen to me. Listen to me. There's a law for landlords about disposing of tenants' property. You give them a particular notice, and a certain amount of time goes by, and they don't get their stuff out. The law authorizes you to sell it or dispose of it. But you have to know what that law is, so they can't wait forever. I'm saying the power isn't on and it's dark. I don't really buy that as an excuse, but if the power is off, probably ought to have it on. But I can't order that. The matter of fact is, they themselves have vacated, so I can't give order. You don't reside there. Personal property is very different. You can go across the hall to the Civil Law Self-Help Center. Ask them, what's the law, what do I have to do about the personal property? So I can finally get it out. Don't tell me what's it. But you gotta cooperate, if they wanna try to get it out, you gotta let them so they got stuff in the shed. You have a key to the shed out back?
No, they put the.
Okay, so, so you don't have a lock, a key to the lock, then I'm gonna, I'm just gonna say, I guess, take the lock off. If you don't have the key, they got stuff in there. They should take it off.
They didn't pay this job for.
You can, it's the only one.
The letter for the month.
All right, okay, I'm denying. Okay, I'll take, this is this one, or you guys, you, Patrick, you versus Marquez, or Marquez Boswell, Kelsey Pierce, your name speak? Marquez Boswell. Your name? Thank you. Thank you. This is on for landlord 7-day notice to pay rent for the quit. Well, I've had a couple where from the get-go, things went south. This lease started on February 1st. Is that correct? Rent's $18.50 a month, is that correct? Correct. Okay, was, anything paid, I guess February was paid for? Correct. Okay, and then March hasn't been paid, nowhere in April, is that right? Correct. Okay. Tenant says, I have written proof as well as physical proof of my claims made today, 3/6. I also have proof of landlord telling me the unit is unlivable. I read that. I read the apology text, that's not helpful, talking about dishwasher. I explained to the last tenant that you got unplug this, I guess you get a flood otherwise. We didn't know, and maybe not all the electrical outlets or whatever. So you actually state that it's unlivable, that would be uninhabitable. That requires you to deposit the rent and the court says,
I learned that earlier, I was unaware.
and then, well, it's on the affidavit when you fill it out. You maybe you say, we need to remodel this house, please move out. This just evolved very quickly. And I got a bad taste from you as the landlord, because you knew about stuff, and you have an obligation to know the condition of your unit. Two, you have an obligation under the statute to rent it in a habitable condition. And so, one, you knew about some of the problems, so you actually knew. But two, I would impute knowledge to you, because it's your obligation under the statute. And so you fold the tent up in a heartbeat. The moment they start pushing you on habitability issues, you just say, oh, move out. Oh, I just need to renovate. My concern about that is, it doesn't get renovated. Now, I know you say I spent $5,000 on a 1-year-old AC. I don't know if it was an AC that was 1 year old when you bought it, or if you paid for it a year ago. $5,000 is not a whole lot. I'm getting a quote about $32,000 for my house. But so I got a big mess here. Okay, got a toilet issue.
There's no water running currently.
There's no running water.
It's been off for weeks
For
now.
almost a month now.
Well, yeah, we gotta know what's up with the water. That's an essential service. They don't have to deposit the rent if there's no running water.
Can I answer that?
What's going on?
Yeah, they come here to rent on, before they came in, he showed that on January 31st, they moved their things in, their stuff in. But at the same day, he threw my microwave away, and then.
Yeah, I know. You asked, hey, do you need a microwave? And you said, yeah.
The more thing, the sequence is like a sequence. Then pull down the vertical line himself on January 31st.
So
And then on the 25th, on February, they called us, say that the sink drain, something wrong. And then I called plumber to fix it. And then after 2 days, and they said, the toilet drains slower. And then I called plumber to check it. And then right now, plumber trying to fix it, but plumber didn't give us a time yet. So, but they stop paying rent. That's why it goes through.
I honestly don't blame them. They moved in and then immediately encountered problems. You're literally saying,
Good.
I was so tired, I forgot to tell you guys about this. It's all my fault. I apologize deeply with regret. That's never, first, this is my fault because of things hasty to go, so I forgot to tell you about the situation at the scene. I have a hard time saying I forgot to.
When he showed
I
me.
don't know, sometimes I think landlord, it just doesn't reflect well on you. So, a couple of practical questions. Are you guys trying to stay there?
No, it's all in the text, we thought that we had an agreement, that I just wanted to be
Oh,
compensated.
yeah. So you were holding out, move out first, then I'll give you your stuff. So the statute, when a landlord fails to deliver possession, and there's been any prepaid rent and a deposit, you give it all back. You don't wait, but he has possession.
Right.
Now, in this instance, he gave you possession, but he didn't turn it over in a habitable condition. So now you're saying, you're holding him over, you're holding him hostage, right? You're holding his deposit hostage. You got a check, wait 3 weeks. I don't know about that. You committed it to him in an uninhabitable condition. I think he gets the deposit back without question. Get him out, so you can do your big
And
renovation,
we
right?
haven't lived there, Your Honor.
Yeah,
We've
pardon
been
me?
gone. I'm pregnant.
You've been gone, did you
We've
say?
been gone. We have
Oh,
not lived
my
there.
family in the hotels.
Yeah.
So you haven't been staying there?
It's
Not
just, it's
since
Just a minute.
it's just all our stuff's there just for storage. We never even unpacked. The only thing that's in our
Never
room
got
is
it.
our bed. So I have a picture of my phone, our whole living room.
If you're not there and you're not gonna go back, then I'm just gonna deny it. You guys could fight over your money.
No, and that's what I just want to be compensated, that's what to be, I have their agreement. I told them, if I get paid, I'll leave it the same day. I just need to be able to get everything out. And
Well, if you're out, but haven't removed your belongings, but have no intent to go back, I'll probably deem it surrender to authorize the landlord to take possession. You guys can work out a date and time to get your stuff. And then, I think because you rented it to him in an uninhabitable condition with problems, I think he's entitled to his entire deposit back, without question, and without waiting 3 weeks. And if you think he's damaged your unit, then you can sue him, okay? But you have the first problem, you admit to it. You do not want to be in front of another judge and have him read that email that says, oh, I forgot about this. Because the judge is gonna say, you rented it to him, he wasn't ready to go, give him his deposit back.
Yeah, but that's just dangerous, but the truth, we are suspicion, their suspicion, they did it on purpose, that's what I'm saying, so, but, right now, we just want to be making, because of.
I'm not granting an eviction today, either you're gonna, I'm gonna demand that the rent be deposited, and then I'm gonna look, well, I mean, they moved out, so on that basis, I won't grant an eviction, but, it's just grossly unfair.
And those were his claims. We got there and sabotaged his plumbing, that we broke everything, and I'm like, we haven't been here in 2 weeks.
He tried to say that me being a woman with a period, that I stuck.
Literally, he said that I was maybe
Just a minute, we're getting far afoul.
Realistically, I don't have a period right now.
The previous tenant moved out on 30th. I had video for the full house after they move out. It's all habitable at that time. So.
Well, but the video wouldn't show what the problems were. Video doesn't show.
They called me on 25th, February, only 29th.
You're blowing smoke right now, I can tell, I see it all, okay, because I've had some people say, and I see everything, pictures, because you got stuff, right?
I have tons of stuff, I have videos of it being flooded.
So I don't have the ability to order money, okay?
Right.
I can't order it and you return it.
No, I
But if you're
understand.
not living there and you don't have any intent to go back, I'm just gonna deny eviction. They're not living there, you can retake possession, then you have to follow a statute as it pertains to their personal property, to let them get it out.
Okay,
All
and
right.
I check them every 2 days at night, every 3 days at night, at 4 o'clock in the morning, their cars, they're there, their lights, they're inside. So I saw they are still living in there, just pretend they are not living.
I come back time to time to get clothes, because I'm currently staying out of my car, I have her with my auntie, and because I couldn't afford the hotel anymore. We have an 8-year-old daughter, that's why I can keep her next to my auntie, which she lives next to the same school, so I'm driving, going out of my way, going back and forth.
What happened to the water?
The city came and cut it off, because if you can see on the text messages, every time, please, every time I text him for any issue in the home, you can see he replies back, is the water in your name? Is the water in your name? I called Southwest Water, what is it called, the water company?
I will hear from you, but let him finish. No, don't. Let him finish.
I've called him multiple times, I've even called him with him there, they can even see, like, they just call recorded, they had me hand him the phone, because I told him,
Okay, just a second. So my knowledge, I've done this for a long time, typically, the utilities require a lease. They want to see a lease before they're going to switch it into somebody's name. I believe there, at least one party has indicated there's no lease. Is there a written lease?
Excuse me.
There was a.
There's a casita and resident there. So the water is all in there. The casita residents say there's no water shortage.
All right, I'm gonna deny the summer eviction, the tenants have vacated.
Your Honor, we talked to him on the casita, he shares power and water with us, we have to pay that power
He
bill.
told me
And
that.
then pays the landlord.
I haven't been there in
Landlord
the power bill.
versus-
It's a train wreck. So, you didn't turn it over to have a condition, I'm not going to, have it in them. There are material facts in dispute that this court cannot admit. So if you think they're not out, they haven't, turned it over to you, then file a formal eviction, and you guys can have that in on all
All
these
of it.
claims. And they can determine whether there's wrongful termination of, essential services, whether the unit's been surrendered, whether there's money owed by one party to the other, either direction. You can bring, if there's essential services such as water's been shut off by him and he's responsible, then you can probably maybe able to get restitution for hotel costs and things like this. It's just a bad deal. Don't ever rent a property that's not ready to rent. No, I'm done. I have a question about it.
Time to go.
I can't order that. It's not granting an eviction.
Thank you.
Can we go across the way?
We
for
still
that?
do.
Grab my water, mama.
Huh? With
Watch.
each other, though, correct? Sure. Any questions?
Sure.
Thank you for your
If it's
time.
solved, then y'all can reach out.
Thank you.
Heritage Square, good morning. Sorrel, thank you, 3307964. Okay, who's your client? Is it Matthew?
Matthew, can you spell and state your name for the record, please?
My name is Matthew Kalma, K-A-I-L-I-M-A-I, Matthew with two T's.
Okay. Your name, please?
Frank Lewis.
Okay.
Miriam Lewis.
Okay. All right, this is before the court on landlord's 30-day no clause, okay? And it's in Monique Sorrell's name, that it lists et al., that means in all occupants. And I'm not sure what, I think you guys don't like what's happening. There's this issue with Miss Sorrells and her, maybe I think you said she's out or something, but.
Yes, Your Honor. She moved on May 1st, 2020, Your Honor. And we've been trying to get her removed from the lease ever since then.
Okay, but so there's the lease, are you guys on the lease?
My mother has a lease right here, Your
Who's
Honor.
your mother?
Miriam Lewis.
Okay.
And
Can I
here's the
see
lease
it,
right here.
please? Okay.
Lease violation.
Her names were all associated with another case I had. All right, so Angelica Ramirez, yeah, this is from, well, it doesn't state the year, but it was down here, July 15th, 2019. So,
Yes, Your Honor.
I see Ms. Lewis signed, this is 1/26/2021, although the front page says, since our parties to a lease agreement dated July 2019. So, what it appears though, you have, let's keep in mind, from this point forward, also only deal with the actual lease agreement, so Miriam and Frank did not sign the lease with Cameron's Park. Staff demonstrated not to engage. So you guys, you folks, or she signed a lease or an addendum back in 2021?
Correct, Your Honor. And at that point, as you can see from the paragraph E, it stipulated that that took control over any prior oral or written agreements that we had had. And my argument, Your Honor, is that there was no issue until we made complaints about issues of habitability and removing Monique Terrells from the lease because she no longer lived there, and the landlord was fully aware of that.
Well, so there's no question that this is a month-to-month tenancy, right?
We didn't enter in, when we moved in, it was at first a year, then it went to 14 months, because we've been there 4.5 years.
Well, I know that,
Now,
but when the lease expires, typically it just trips over into a month-to-month tenancy, which, in fact, some of the notices at least say that, here's the renewal options.
yes, and I have a notice here. He says, Your Honor, that it says that from here on, all leases. So we wanted to renew the lease for a year, but he said that all leases, per this written statement, that all leases were now on a month-to-month basis, which we never agreed with.
And so therefore, this is a month-to-month tenancy. Month-to-month tenancies can be terminated by either party with a simple 30-day notice. They provided that back on February 6th, that was 56 days ago, followed by a 5-day unlawful detainer notice on March 11th. So
my question, Your Honor, would be, I say, 30-day no cause notice, from my understanding, is that the landlord has no cause. He just wants the property back.
Well, they don't have to demonstrate to the court any for cause, meaning that you've done anything wrong. They just want the unit back.
Yes, but per his own letter, Your Honor, he states right here that the reason why, after my mother went to the office and let him know we had habitability issues, this is before any rent was due or any no cause notice was ever mentioned. This was December 19th, 2023. My mother explained to him, and per his letter, he's stating that she never signed the lease, she's never been on a lease, and he's trying to force Monique Terrells, who's a resident in California and no longer there on the property, to place her as the sole leaseholder when my mother became that on 2020 when Monique Terrells left the apartment with my mother, per management.
Miss Lee, I'm not sure if it's significant to this case, but it's certainly under the tenant's skin, where you're saying, hey, Monique Terrells is the one on the lease, she's the only one we'll communicate with, but Miriam Lewis has signed on January 26, 2021.
I have 2022 here.
4255 Tamara Street, Unit 201, that's the subject unit. That lease addendum and promissory, so this promissory note for rental arrears due to COVID. I haven't seen that for a long time.
I have a more recent one, Your Honor.
Pardon?
I have more recent ones as well.
No, I'm just saying, this was in the middle of COVID, and there were,
yeah, because she renewed the lease here.
This is Governor Sisolak's emergency directive, where he's trying to say this is, we're trying to avoid some evictions. So you all came in
right before the pandemic. The pandemic was February, I believe, 2020. We moved in July 2019.
And you had a rent. The only reason this was executed was because of an arrearage, COVID related. Do you know, Ms. Lee, why Ms. Ramirez would assign this with Miriam Lewis as to this unit and Ms. Sorrells? Well, I
I do not know why she would sign it. However, what I do know is that Frank Lewis is nowhere on the lease, is nowhere, not even arguably on the lease, so it doesn't seem appropriate that he's here making representations. I don't know why she signed it. My guess is, and my client can correct me, not my guess, my information is that at some point, Monique Sorrells wanted to add Mary Lewis to the lease, but that it was never properly completed.
Although there's a lease renewal, May 9th, 2021. It's Monique Sorrells et al. And then it has Ms. Lewis sign it with, and there's an agent's signature. At that point, I probably deem her to be a valid tenant.
I have one for 2021 too,
We can add her to the eviction filings. If Madam Clerk wants to add her to the filings, we're happy to have her added to the filings, but we still want the 30-day notice to stand.
Yeah, so that's just kind of a side issue. Frankly, you prefer to be under Ms. Sorrell's name rather than on your name if the court issues an eviction order. So the sole thing here, there's just no question this is a month-to-month tenancy. I think that the landlord's probably known that Mr. Lewis has resided there
since 2019.
And Al. Otherwise, that might be a basis that gets under their skin and says, we're ready to part ways. But so the sole thing I'm going to look at is maybe this retaliation issue. So they state that December 19th that Ms. Lewis complained something. What did you complain?
When it rained, it leaked.
She has the demand letter, Your Honor. We actually submitted demand letter on February the 2nd.
The door, the patio door, the lock broke a year ago, and they come and drilled a hole, and I had to get up on a chair and put a pin in this hole to lock my door. My toilet, I cannot flush no toilet paper.
Did you submit?
Yes, in writing.
Let me see it. Just a minute, I might have a copy of that. This isn't the payment for this, I'm not gonna go into.
Here's the receipt.
All right, I'll take a look at it.
The receipt for the demand letter and the actual demand letter. And this was before any no cause notice, Your Honor, was even presented to us. And I believe that NRS 11A.
All right, just a minute. So is that January 7th?
February, Your Honor.
February 7th, okay. Certified mail, February 7th, based on retaliatory actions, fraud, breach of contract neglect. So, well, you filed this in response to their February 6th notice.
The February 6th notice, Your Honor, we didn't receive until February the 7th. I think that it was dated on the 6th,
No,
but
you
it wasn't.
found it on it. I mean, look, it was served on the 6th. It would have been posted and mailed. You wouldn't have gotten the posting or the mail until later, but the posting you may have seen. The bottom line is,
although the complaints my mother made on December the 19th verbally.
I'm not sure why you're trying to stay. Okay, it's a month-to-month tenancy. So ultimately,
I have a defense, Your Honor.
It can get.
I have surgery.
She had surgery in 5 days, Kevin. We have proof of this.
So why don't you get it out earlier?
Because there's been no issue until we brought up taking Monique Sorrells off the lease and correcting the habitability issues. There was never an issue, which we made clear in that answer and the December answer.
I think I read on the 3rd of every month.
So Miss Lee, Mr. did Miss Sorrells leave back in 2020?
Whether she left or not, she never actually removed herself from the lease. We have a whole process for it. Miriam would have had to qualify on her own. We recognize Miriam was supposed to be a leaseholder. We invited both Monique and Miriam to come in and take care of that issue. And we received a notice that Monique simply wanted to be removed from the lease. And that was the notice that we received in the mail.
The moment Monique is to be removed, then you've got to qualify all on your own.
We went down there, Monique and I went down there, we paid $50, to the other young man that was working there, as the manager. We paid him $50 and Monique put my name.
$520.
And put the name
Now,
on.
Wait, I want to hear this.
You should have this, since you provided it too. It states that that the fault is on the manager.
Mr. Kalimai, you need to stop. She was mid-sentence. I was trying to take the testimony. You can't just bust in, okay? So, you came in.
Monique and I went down there, we signed the paperwork, paid them $50, to take her name off and put keep my name as the sole.
Make her the sole
But
leaseholder.
did they reject that? They
No,
don't have to.
no.
This is the
Let me see it. Did you guys take action? There was, I'm gonna take a look. Lease renewal. But this doesn't say Monique comes off.
Monique sent him a notarized letter saying, please remove my name from the
Of
lease.
course, I wouldn't want to be on it if I moved out, but that doesn't mean they do it because you would have to qualify for the lease on your own financial credentials.
Well, evidently I did because they renewed the
Yes, she
lease for
did.
me.
They renewed the lease, but Monique's name stayed on.
That, Your Honor, Monique leaving was based on a breach of contract. This is, we all lived there together.
We all moved in there
We moved
together.
in together in 2019. When
Monique and
Monique
him.
decided to leave and vacate the premises, it was based on this breach of contract.
What breach?
On January, we moved in 2019. We signed the yearly lease, my mother and Monique
What's
Sorrell.
the breach?
Excuse me, the breach was on the lease shouldn't expire until 8/2020, a year lease. The lease, they sent us a letter, which I have a copy of here as well.
I'm not gonna revisit that issue. I mean, she left.
So what I'm saying is I'm bringing up a defense for retaliatory action from, soon as this has happened, my car's been towed by this property management.
Yeah, I don't doubt some of that is.
There's been, and like I say they received our demand letter and acknowledged that they're sorry for the delay removing Monique Sorrell from the lease.
Because I've been asking since
This is their writing.
2019. I've been since she
This is the
left.
issue, the cause.
Well, so, Mr. Kalima, did you guys ever process a request to remove her? Or did you run Ms. Lewis's financials to see if she could stand on her own?
No, she was added as simply an additional leaseholder. Since Monique already qualified, as long as there were no disqualifying factors, we were able to add Miriam on.
No, I don't see, so I see Miriam gets added, but Monique left a long time ago, and they're saying they wanted Monique wanted it off. But I think your position has been, yeah, Monique may want off, but that means that Miriam has to qualify on her own.
Personally, I'll speak for myself. I did not know. I confused Miriam for Monique for the longest period of time. It was only until recently when we started reaching out to them, where I know some other people in the office didn't know the difference between the two. I did not.
Okay, so I don't know that, so this doesn't state, well, I mean,
It shows that they didn't know. They knew she was no longer on the lease and we wanted her
I
off the
signed
lease.
all my money order to Miriam Lewis.
Yeah, I know, but
They know.
I don't see that, this is just in response to, we've done the 30-day no cause, you guys are alleging this, they're saying, look, we're just gonna deal with Monique. Miriam appears to have been added to the lease, but still, if Monique wants off, she has to qualify on her own.
And
And if, just a minute.
Go ahead,
And if Monique wants off, in my opinion, they can just say, fine, but we'll move forward with terminating the tenancy with the 30 days.
what I'm saying is, Your Honor, there was no additional. Monique and my mother, we all moved in together.
I know that.
And at that
Monique's
point
the only
in
one
time,
on the lease.
They were in a relationship, Monique and Antoine was in a relationship.
I have what
So-
Your Honor needs.
And I rented the room I added myself.
Okay,
That's not correct.
Where's the notice of habitability issues?
Okay, Your Honor, I just gave you
The letter?
the demand letter. In the demand letter, I brought up my issues of habitability.
The demand letter is
Of
February
plumbing.
7th, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's too late. It's too late. to
Too
be
late for what?
retaliatory.
When we weren't served until the 11th.
No.
That's what this service
February
says right
6th.
here.
February 6th was your service date.
I have the notice right
The
here.
unlawful detainer was served on March 11th, as it had to be, but the first no cause you got, I have these documents on record.
And how can we tell that, Your Honor, with no declaration of service?
I see it, that declaration of service is for the court, and this can go also. That declaration of service is for the court.
And the fact that the fact that the landlord says clearly that there's cause there, is when we paid our rent, there was no problem. And you would agree, Your Honor, Monique Sorrell should be removed from the lease, being that she already went down there when she moved, gave the
Well,
proper
I
notice.
wouldn't require them to remove her from the lease unless and until
We
you
asked.
or she submits all the required financials or an application.
Which they did when we moved
of
in.
her own, okay? Is there an application?
I have
for
that,
Ms.
Your Honor.
Lewis?
I have that, I promise you.
But
From the
if-
first day we moved in, with the breakdown of everything, Your Honor, just be patient with me and give me the time, and I will demonstrate to the court that on July 19th, I say, here's my mother's proof of
Well,
income.
the critical thing is gonna be, when you complain, you're stating your complaint was.
December-
In writing, February 7th, and that code states 30-day no cause, so it could be a basis for retaliation. It's a bad relationship, you guys need to.
Here we are, Your Honor. This is what they signed on the first day, on July 19th.
I can't
When
afford to
she-
do that now, sir.
I
worry about that,
have a
Mother.
feeling you can't afford to be the one. on
Here's our
this.
payment.
Just a minute,
This goes with that.
okay, I'll take it goes with this.
Yes. As you can see, her signature in the
Oh, this
deck.
is the lease.
That's the original first lease that we signed, the first day that we moved in together.
Well, I mean,
What we're saying is, Your Honor, if we would have just kept Monique Sorrell's on the lease without our wishes or her wish, fraud, then we would have been all right. Once we said that we needed repairs done to the living unit and we needed her removed from the lease, because in December we were unable to pay for rent. So we tried to go to chat for assistance and we were denied assistance based on Monique Sorrell's name.
And then that creates a real problem.
That's where
Well,
the
that's
issue
what
began.
Somebody stole $700 off my card. It said Nike,
That's irrelevant, Mama, but that is where the issue
that's where the
began.
issue began.
And I believe-
So, that you were in default on rent in December.
I paid it on the 10th.
Yeah, we paid it. We tried to go to chat first. Once they denied us, we came up with another source of payment.
So December's rent was paid, it was late, then you went to chat.
And that's when we first discussed.
What about January?
We paid January rent, Your Honor, and February rent, and made complaints about the habitability issues each time. This is not like the landlord has not been
Well,
aware.
when did you, in writing, make the complaint?
February the 7th is when, after he sent us a letter threatening, not serving us, but sending us a letter threatening a 30-day no cause notice for clearly what he say is us wanting to remove Monique Sorrells from the list, from the lease. Those two issues right there caused the no cause notice.
I think they can, if you're asking Monique, who's a qualifier under the lease, I think they can end it on that basis.
That's what we
Because
agree with.
She's financially an underwriter of this lease, and that you're asking her
to be removed from the lease
is, I think, reasonable response from them is, well, maybe they're just going to end it.
That's reasonable, Your Honor, to throw a woman that's going to surgery, 65 years old, in the homelessness?
I don't look into that very far, okay? That's, the question is there a valid reason to end?
So him saying Miriam Lewis is not on the lease. And
I am
having
saying,
these people,
look, I think she's on the lease, okay? But she gets.
But his actions are based on she's not.
Renewal in 2021, but the moment you're requesting, or Ms. Sorrells is requesting to be removed from the lease when her financials support this tenancy, then I do not deem that to be a retaliation when the landlord's saying, well, we're going to just terminate.
But when you compound that, Your Honor, with the habitability
I
issues.
get that, but I typically, if there is one basis that is not retaliatory, then I think they're entitled, as landlords are. The legislature has made it clear that tenancies don't last forever, and they've given a landlord the right. There's an upside and a downside for both parties for a month-to-month tenancy.
Okay, Your Honor, so now, do we acknowledge Miriam Lewis as a leaseholder at the lease?
I tend to think she's on, well, at this point, whether she's on the lease or not, you guys have paid. Monique was not removed as a tenant, but I think you're tenants because you have been paying to be there, okay?
And I bring that up, Your Honor, because this is the tenancy lease, and it clearly states here when enacting a termination of tenancy, that it must be done before the 1st of the month. We paid rent on February the 1st.
The statute does not state that, and I've never held with that. I think.
But this is part of the rental agreement.
Let me see it.
And it's several times in the rental agreement.
The problem with that is, so we're now in April, right? So you've had almost 2 months.
And like my mother explained, Your Honor, she's scheduled
You
for
have to do
surgery.
something, and I need to read it, right? I mean, don't hand me something and then just start talking on me.
I thought you asked me a question, Your Honor. I apologize.
Well, I thought you said there was a 2-page lease. And now I've got this document.
There's plenty of pages, Your Honor.
9 through 22. This Lee, I'm looking at a 1 page, but it looks like it's been initialed by, it's MS, Monica Sorrells, I presume it says, termination. This agreement and the tenancy hereby granted may be terminated after initial term and paragraph 2 has been completed at any time by either party, giving the other party not less than 30 days prior in writing as otherwise allowed by the state of Nevada, or as otherwise allowed by the state of Nevada. Termination of this agreement before the term is complete results in this. But B, the 30-day notice must be given in writing on or before the day the rent is due, and then parenthetically it says first, or the notice does not become effective until the first of the following month. So this would not become, the notice would not become effective until March 1. That would suggest that your March 11th notice is in effect.
I don't have that document in front of me.
Let me look
I don't
at
have the second page, the lease detailing the resident's responsibility.
Pardon?
That's the second page of the lease. The lease itself is 4 pages and has about 20 additives to it. That's page 2.
Is there a page,
and that,
just listen to me, is there a page that has subparts 9 through 22? Paragraph 19?
Yeah, that would be page 2.
Okay, so paragraph 19, termination.
That would be detailing the resident's responsibility in terminating the lease.
That would be what?
That would be detailing the resident's responsibility in terminating the lease, when we would accept their notice to vacate.
Just a minute, let me see if I can, if it interprets that way. Termination. A, this agreement on the tenancy may be terminated after initial term, paragraph 2 has been completed at any time by either party, hereto giving the other party not less than 30 days prior in writing, or as otherwise allowed by the laws of the state of Nevada. Termination of this agreement before the term is complete results in 1, a termination fee equal to $900. This is before the term is complete, so these don't apply. And then B, a 30-day notice must be given in writing on or before the day the rent is due, or the notice does not become effective until the first of the month. And then it has the resident initials. So, you know, it's kind of ambiguous. A says it can be terminated by either party with not less than 30 days written notice, or as otherwise allowed by the laws of the state of Nevada. And B, then it's got this notice, 30-day notice, but it doesn't say if the tenant is terminating, then it must be given. I mean, it might be reasonable to
It's made more
include
clear
that. It does have the tenant initial on it, but it certainly leaves some ambiguity. It doesn't carve the landlord out of that requirement.
It's made more clear here on the next
I'll
page,
see
Robert.
your decision in that matter.
Pardon?
We would argue that would be, I mean,
Yeah.
that just seems that seems to be resident geared toward the resident. I get that it's ambiguous, but we see this term leases all the time where the residents need to give notice because the rent comes due.
Yeah, I get that.
First.
I get that. But
They're responsible for the entire term of the lease.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire month for which they are there even one day.
Well, this is, we will notify, he's giving me another provision. This is, where is this from? Because
This is the next page over, Your Honor,
how can it be the next page? Give me number.
because it goes
20.
from 1 through 12. I see what you're saying too now, Your Honor.
I mean, so we will notify you 45 days prior to your lease. We hope you choose to renew your lease, but if not, please note you must submit your notice to vacate line 30 days before your next rent is due. Example, removing the end of November, your notice must be received in our office on or before the 1st of November. Late notices will not be accepted and you will be responsible for the next notice of rent. Man. Have you guys been looking by chance?
I haven't been able to, I've been going to, pre-op all these last 2 weeks, pre-op for blood tests, pre-op for my heart, to make sure I'm able to have the surgery. I've been doing pre-op all, for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
January and February's rent was paid, but not March, is that correct?
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
got Mark right here.
We have the rent money. I have a money order right here already mailed out.
So I'm not sure what to make of it. I sure like that it needs to be clear, so I don't have to try to guess.
I just want to pay my rent and.
I know you do, ma'am, but if it's properly terminated, you need it, then I can't consider all that.
And wouldn't you consider it to be unconscionable, Your Honor, that?
No, I can't view it that way, okay? Because almost everything would be unconscionable with people in hard circumstances, okay? So I have to look at whether there's retaliation, and now I have to decide whether the 5-day notice was premature. With summary proceedings, that provision gives me heartache. I have a suspicion it may be directed to the tenant or tenants, but, you know, the termination section talks about either party giving the 30-day notice.
Yeah, it does, but it also says as otherwise contemplated by that law. We are compliant with the law.
Well, but,
It was clear that we had.
just a minute. Well, it does, 30 days is required by Nevada law, but if there's a more strict requirement, agreed to between the parties, then I have to enforce that. I think I'm inclined to do the following. This is a little bit like Lewis The Y.A Baby. To deny this summary eviction, I'm going to deem the February 6th notice to be effective, the 5-day notice to be premature. The landlord could serve you tomorrow with a 5-day because the 30-day notice became effective as of March 1. End of March, your 30 days were over. I deem that they can serve you now with a new 5-day notice. They don't need to start over with the 30-day.
Taking note that they're aware of habitability issues?
Pardon me?
Taking note that they
No,
are now?
I don't think the habitability issues only become significant if I deem there to be retaliation, and that's the sole issue. I don't deem it to be the sole issue. Ms. Sorrells wants to be off. I deem that an issue that they could terminate everybody over without it being retaliatory, because she was part of the financial qualification.
I understand that.
So you're going to buy yourself a little bit of time. Ms. Lee, is that understood? I know you won't like that, but that's.
I don't like it. I don't think it's fair. I think what we're doing is we're putting off something, causing the tenant to refile answer when we're probably going to get to the same result, even if they're going to have to vacate the premises.
Well, and I've let them know that I'm not accepting the retaliation, but that's where I'm kind of splitting the baby on this one, okay? Because otherwise I could say this, there are material facts regarding retaliation, and that needs to go to some formal eviction. but I'm not making that conclusion. So it's my way of handling this, okay?
Your Honor?
Okay, so I'm denying eviction, but I'm deeming their 30-day notice to be effective, and they can immediately serve you with a new 5.
Is this,
So you'll have some time, I suppose, whether you try to contest that or not, but buy more time is up to you. But this case will be closed and sealed, and then once you open a new filing, it might be hard to get out again. But
is this, decision by the court your order? Is this able to be appealed to the higher court?
I'm denying it.
I'm asking, can I appeal your decision?
You want to appeal, I don't think you can appeal the decision.
I was just asking, can I appeal the decision?
I can't give you legal advice, but I'm not granting an eviction today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, would it be, just to throw this out there, I'm going to invite my client to list both names on the eviction now. I don't know if that's.
It's up to you, but the argument is that Miriam Lewis is certainly a tenant. She's appeared to have signed documents. He has not, but
Right, but he's done all the talking today.
well, that doesn't necessarily, I mean, he's certainly been been authorized occupant, but I don't know, I won't tell you how to do that.
All right, thank you.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You want to leave or?
You make your honor.
24-0-4447 for chat status, no parties are present, members not here, so termination will be denied. First Gun Apartments versus SBA, 24-0-8365, on for they notice pay rent or give no parties. Landlord is not here, so CGP Studio 629, Los Angeles, Mount Home, 24-0-84.
Thank you, Mr. Beck. Ooh, oh, mama, damn. Woo. That was a battle. That was a battle.
How'd that go, son?
It went just fine. Hell yeah.
So you gotta do it all over again.
Something like that. I'm gonna sit you on this bench. Where is our bench? They done moved all the damn benches to keep the homeless people from sleeping right here. Right here.
So that went well?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'll explain it all to you once I go get the car. It went great. You can tell he know who I am. That man know who I be. I be the pappy. Okay. I'm about to go over there. I don't even got the damn car. I got it. Okay. What did all that just mean? From my